All right. Next library book after our shout out. Amaya. Okay. I will never, ever, as long as I live, forget Amaya's act of kindness. One day, like right after lunch during our rest time, the fire alarm went off. It was so loud. Everybody's like closing their ears. Everybody's lining up, and I'm grabbing the walkie-talkie and my backpack, and we're rushing out. And as I walk back in to make sure the rest of my line and every student is accounted for and exiting our classroom, I see Amaya run back all the way back to the other side of our classroom, snatch up our classroom bunny, which students just love to hug and like get a sense of comfort and soothing and whatnot from the bunny. And she ran it over to another student in the back of the line who was just crying and crying and crying. This poor student was so upset. And so she grabbed the bunny and she runs over and brings it to her. Gosh, such an act of bravery and compassion. It will live with me forever. So Miss Amaya, I'm so happy you're in my class. Ollie Outside, Screen-Free Fun by Michael Oberschneider. Illustrated by Guy Wallach. Ollie Outside. What do you think he's gonna do? Build a fort, maybe? Maybe shoot off a rocket? Have some fireworks or something? Ooh, I like his shades. It's summer, said Ollie. His backyard had a big empty spot waiting to be filled, and Ollie had a plan. What's he gonna do? On Monday, Ollie said, Dad, will you build me a fort? I'd like to, but I have emails to send. Please, asked Ollie. There's a big box in the garage. You can use it to make a fort. Ollie moved the box outside. He borrowed a welcome mat. He made a flag, but something was missing. On Tuesday, Ollie couldn't wait to get outside. Mom, will you visit me in my fort? I'd love to, but I'm busy watching TV. Please, said Ollie. Not now. Well, can I get some stuff out of your... Well, can I use some of your gardening stuff for my fort? He asked. Sure, anything you need. Ollie made a path with stones. He dug up the dirt. He planted flowers and watered them. Looks great, he said, but something was missing. On Wednesday, Ollie decided to give his fort more color. Hey, Max, he called to his brother. Want to help me paint my fort? No, thanks. We're playing video games. Please, said Ollie. Doing art is more fun. But nobody answered. Have you ever experienced that? When everyone around you is busy on their screens. Ollie painted the fort's walls. He drew shingles on the roof. He decorated the doors. Best fort ever. That is pretty impressive. On Thursday, Mom was online, Dad was on the phone, and Max was playing computer games. Ollie found his sister and said, Ava, come outside. I want to show you something awesome. Sorry, Ollie, she said. I'm texting. Please, said Ollie. Maybe later, said Ava. But she never showed up. On Friday, the weather was so sunny, Ollie wanted to spend all day outside playing fort. He filled a basket with drinks and snacks. Who wants to have a picnic in my fort? He asked his family. Only Lucy followed him outside. She can pick up on the scents inside of that basket. She doesn't want to miss out. Ollie and Lucy played catch and fetch. They smelled the flowers. They watched the clouds drift by. On Saturday, the birds sang in the sun. Ollie found some binoculars and went to see his grandparents. Hi, Gram and Gramps. Want to sit in my new fort and bird watch? We can't, said Gram. We're downloading photos. Even his grandparents were too busy for him. Outside, Ollie scattered birdseed. whistled to himself, and waited for the birds to join him. But something was still missing. Ollie watched his family, thinking, I should have named it Fort Lonely. They're all inside, doing emails, downloading, texting, playing video games. Well, he's outside, enjoying the summer, all alone. Wow, it even looks like there's a birdhouse on top. Goodness, that's a very impressive design. That evening, Dad called out the door. Ollie, supper. Mom called, get it while it's hot. Ollie hid in his fort. He closed the doors of Fort Fun. Ollie heard footsteps and voices. A furry nose poked in. Hi, Lucy, he said. What's wrong, Ollie? Don't you want dinner? Awesome fort, said Ava. Did you do this by yourself? Said Max. Yep, said Ollie, because none of you wanted to help. You're right, said Mom. We were too busy with our electronics, said Dad. Ava and Max told Ollie they were sorry. Graham and Gramps gave him a big hug. Lucy licked Ollie's hands. I've got an idea, said Ollie. Let's all eat here tonight. But no screens allowed. Oh, they all look so happy together. On Sunday, that big backyard spot wasn't so empty. Fort Fun was full. Finally, said Ollie, nothing is missing anymore. Tips for parents and caregivers. The American Academy of Pediatrics says children under the age of 2 should avoid screen time. Studies show that the brain of a child aged 2 or younger is not developmentally able to process information from screens. Young children may quickly become confused or overstimulated. Children over age 2 should only be limited to 1 to 2 hours every single day, with a focus on high-quality educational material. Please avoid media that's aggressive or overstimulating. Always avoid violent content. Select age-appropriate material. Don't let your child use more than one electronic device at a time. This kind of multitasking is not good for brain development. I think this guy is actually, a psy PD. Make face-to-face time a priority. Children thrive on interaction. They watch your facial expressions, listen to your words, ask you questions, and look for your answers. A screen simply cannot interact in the same way. That's why experts recommend limiting the amount of time spent in front of electronic devices. Look for ways to stay interactive. Play board games and ask, what do you think will happen? What might come next? Supervise their screen time. Set up screen-free zones at home. For example, make it a rule that there's no screen use during snack time or meals. Keep bedrooms screen-free too. Children who have free access to screens in their rooms tend to use technology more frequently. Studies have shown a link between screens in bedrooms and weight gain. And avoid the use of electronic devices before bedtime. Not only for children, but also for adults. Using screens in the evening and late at night makes it harder to settle down and fall asleep. Focus on educational material. Question the norm. Today, more and more preschoolers have tablets and smartphones of their own. Where was I at? This suggests that electronic devices are becoming a regular part of the childhood experience. And yet, at what cost? Preschoolers and elementary and early elementary school students are naturally curious about gadgets and media, but as parents, you ultimately get to decide what's right for your child. Children who sit in front of screens for long periods of time from a young age aren't getting fresh air, physical activity, and social interaction, all of which help them learn and grow. So be sure to make unplugged play a priority. Schedule screen time so that limits are clear. Keep tabs on what's on. Place the TV or computer in a public area of your home so that you can stay aware of what your child is watching and doing. Limit your own use. Most of us could benefit from going on a media diet and becoming more aware of how much time we really spend in front of our screen. You may find it helpful to keep a written record of how much time you're on your phone, computer, or tablet. Okay, love. Okay. No, I'm coming. I'm right there. Are you all done eating? Yes. Reconnect without screens and the benefits of being active. Playing outside helps children stay active and fit. The Centers for Disease Control recommends that children do at least 60 minutes of physical activity every day. While it's important to be mindful of sun exposure, outdoor time increases a child's vitamin D levels, which can help protect them from future heart disease, diabetes, bone problems, and other health issues. Children with ADHD or autism improve their concentration and focus after exercising outside. Active play promotes emotional development by relieving stress, increasing endorphin levels, and boosting their mood. Time outside is linked to positive attitudes and kindness. Just 5 minutes of green exercising in nature, can improve mood and self-esteem at any age. The end, my friend.